Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Red Wolf Roundtable. I'm Jacob Cater. This is my friend Caton Marsh, and we have a very, very special edition of Roundtable today with some very special guests joining us on the show. But we'll give you a little rundown about what's happening. A lot has happened for A-State sports.
Yeah, 6 games, maybe even more for basketball. We're going to talk about National Signing Day, which is actually today.
Yep.
It's going on right now.
We're going to talk about some successes in volleyball as well. Some very big successes. And then some football about going bowling. So we'll see what all is to come here on Red Wolf Roundtable. We'll be right back.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you howl.
Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable. We're ready to talk about some volleyball. Big successes for the A-State volleyball team. They went into the Sun Belt Conference Tournament, and they won the whole thing.
Yep. It was a improvement since last season. I don't think we had any questions about going into this season that volleyball was going to have a struggle, especially when we have Deidreana Kale. But when you do have players leave, like Sarah Martinez, she was a pivotal player for us, and there's always going to be some hits, but volleyball continued their trend of success. They won the Sun Belt, and they're going on to the tournament.
They finally overcame their Texas State bug, who they played in the regular season and beat them, and then they played them again in the second round of this tournament and beat them 3-2. It was their closest game of the whole tournament, but they did prevail in that one. Game 1, they beat Southern Miss 3-0, and in Game 3, the championship game, played against the Sun Belt regular season champions, James Madison, and beat them 3-1. So some big victories for the A-State Red Wolves. You see it here, the picture that was taken as they were crowned the champions. So proud of our girls on the volleyball team. Let's highlight a few of them. Deidreana Kale had 36.5 points, 9 digs, and 25 blocks, along with being crowned the SBC Tournament Most Outstanding Player for the tournament. She has done so good all year. I've been so proud of her. Mia Maloney, 53 digs. So that's
a defensive unit.
The defensive unit for Mia Maloney. Peyton Van Veen had 38 points, 2 digs, and 7 blocks. Caitlin Whitlock had 35 points, 33 digs, and 4 blocks. Addison Collum had 43 points, 13 digs, and 13 blocks. So, of course, all those stats are across all 3 games. Those are not just one game. All 3 games of the tournament, those are their stats from the tournament. And they will head into the NCAA tournament with a 22-8 record and a 15-4 conference record. And they will face Baylor in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Indiana.
Yeah, we face good competition, but we did that early on this year. We played Ole Miss, we played Georgia Tech, and then we played a ranked Mizzou, and we beat them, and then we should have beat them the second game. Unfortunately, came up short. But it's not like Arkansas State can't handle the bigger teams. So going into this, actually tomorrow, it's going to be a big day tomorrow for the volleyball team. I think we have a shot. We always have a shot. And I think the chemistry that they have, the synergy that they have, it's all going to bring together. This is a huge thing for them. It's been a minute since we went to a tournament like this. So it's going to be a lot on their shoulders, but I think they can carry it very well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just reflecting on the season, it's been a phenomenal, groundbreaking season. The first time they've won the Sun Belt Conference Tournament in a decade. It's been since 2015. And then shout out to another college in the state, UCA, who is also in the same regional as Arkansas State. At Purdue. I believe Purdue is hosting that regional. But again, Baylor will be the first team that Arkansas State faces in the NCAA tournament, their first berth since 2015. And looking forward to watching some volleyball this week.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
All right, well, stay tuned. We've got some more action coming up for you, a basketball review of the season, and a little bit of preview looking forward for everything we've missed over Thanksgiving break and everything coming up for Christmas break. So stay tuned here on Red Wolf Roundtable.
Students should watch ASU-TV just to see the creativity that a college student can get. The creativity that some of these students have is truly amazing. Getting that experience can really just take you further, and I feel like our program does that for a lot of students.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you howl.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable. We've got some very special guests on the show today. We've got Mr. Carson Campbell over here, A-State Sports Take host, Mr. Will Livingston over there, A-State Herald sports editor, and Mr. Benji McDowell, an A-State Herald writer. We're going to talk about some A-State basketball today, starting with the women's team, November 23rd. A win against Jackson State down in Jackson, Mississippi, 75-69. Bella Weary with 12 points in that game led the team. Then the Baja Mar tournament went down to Nassau in the Bahamas. November 28th, over Thanksgiving, beat a Big 12 opponent in Houston. Big win for the A-State Lady Red Wolves there. Zion Shannon led the way with 15 points. 38 forced turnovers. I want to get y'all's thoughts on this tournament and exactly your projections and looking at how this women's team is going forward into this season.
So we'll go back a little bit before that Jackson State game to that Central Arkansas game where we go to Conway and get a belt applied to our rear ends. If you watch that post-game interview, Coach Des was probably the angriest I've seen her in a while. And I don't know what was said in that meeting after that game and during that whole time in between that game and the Jackson State game, but it worked because I don't think they've lost since. They haven't lost since. They didn't lose to Jackson State, and they haven't lost on that Baja Mar tournament either. They beat a Big 12 team in Houston. Granted, not a very good Big 12 team. It's Houston. But they still whooped them by 20, put up a program record number of turnovers with 38, and they went and whooped up on Kent State, who isn't having too bad of a season, all things considered. And again, we lost to their conference mate, Ball State, earlier this year, and we beat Kent State by 20. Mm-hmm. So, and we only lost, and if you remember, we only lost to Ball State by, a point? So, and that team wasn't even locked in. I'd like to see us play Ball State now because I guarantee you we'd beat them by 22. So I think they're locked in. I think they're motivated. Everybody's finally figured it out, and this is going to be fun to watch from here on out.
Absolutely. Carson, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
Like you said, me and you were talking about it watching the men's game, but in this age of basketball and college basketball, it's going to take some time to mesh together as a team. You're getting new players every year. For the men's side, it's completely new, but even for women's, they brought in players. They have some returning players, but it takes time. And like Will said, Ball State, first game of the season. I'd like to see that matchup again, just with this team, the new press. Players aren't used to that press, but that's A-State. That's how Coach Dez coaches, and it's starting to mesh together a little bit. I think conference play is looking bright right now, other than, JMU and Troy. Those are your top houses in women's and men's. But overall, I think we're looking pretty good on the upside.
That game against Arkansas is coming up quick, too.
Yeah.
We're
Yes, it is.
Second SEC opponent of the year, lost to Missouri, but it's good competition getting ready for conference play.
Benjamin, you got any thoughts on the A-State women's season so far?
Yeah, I think we have a bright future ahead of us. I like our team. I like the makeup of our team. I love how Dez continued to keep the system. She didn't just win the championship, change the system. Same system, and I like how the veterans, you could tell that the veterans like Winter and Zion have taken that big leap in leadership. You can tell on and off the floor they're gelling together. Talking to the team, they're saying they're more bonded closer this year with the new people than they were last year, spending time with each other on and off the floor. So I think this team has a bright future ahead. I think they're going to do amazing things and just stay the course.
Now, Caton, we talked about on the show before kind of how at the beginning of the season the defensive woes for this team were kind of weighing heavy. We saw it against the scrimmage versus Henderson State at the beginning of the year, and then against Ball State and against a few other opponents like UCA that we've played this year. The defense has seemed to come along so far. And the one thing that I've really liked to see improve on this team is the rebounding. We don't have a lot of size, and that's something that we've discussed as well. But how do you think that the rebounding has come for this team so far?
Well, yeah, so both defense and rebounding as a whole has gotten better. But on the defensive front, I'm kind of going back to what you were talking about. Early on in the season, it didn't seem like it was meshing well. It seemed sloppy. There were holes, there were miscommunications. And with a defensive style like this, you can't have holes. And I think ever since early on in the season, since we've gotten that new chemistry built up, it's kind of slowed down on the miscommunications, and everything's kind of wrapped together. One of the things Coach Dez always reiterates is that you have to win the turnover battle, and they have done that consistently over the past couple games, and it's showing. Yeah. It's showing quite well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, they won the Nassau Bahamas bracket that they were in. De'Ara Allen had 17 points in the final game versus Kent State. They won that one 74-54. But moving on, an upcoming game against Florida Gulf Coast Wednesday. I want to know what you think about that one, because it could be a potential really good game for them to continue their win streak that they're on.
Florida Gulf Coast is, what, 2-5?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You better get your belts ready because we're about to absolutely whoop them. And our first home trip back, and there's actually students now. Yeah, they're going to show off. This ain't even going to be pretty.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for tonight, honestly. I think considering the crowd last night, men's side, probably the biggest student section turnout we've seen this season. I'm excited to see who shows up for women's. Obviously, notoriously we don't show up, but we're good this year. Let's show up and show out.
I'm also liking that we're getting our shooters back. Zion, of course, has always been a shooter. We knew this last year, and we knew this year. She's continued to score very consistently. But De'Ara Allen, as well, has been a very consistent shooter for us. And, and we saw it in this tournament last time around. She was nailing threes like crazy, and we're going to see it some more. And it's what we need to win Sunbelt every year, because last year we had a bunch of really good three-point shooters, and we're going to have it again this year. And we got Bella Weary as well, who is not as good of a three-point shooter as De'Ara, but she's one of the tougher players. She gets all the blue-collar points. She gets your rebounds. She gets your steals. She gets everything. She dishes out the assists.
And she's one of the smallest players on the floor.
Exactly. And honestly, and if Kristen Rose is scoring at least half as many points as she's got, but she's dishing out the amount of assists she's been getting consistently, yeah, we got a Sun Belt in our bags.
Yeah.
I think overall this is kind of just like a confidence booster game. I think this is going to be good for the fans overall, because when you bring a style of defense like they play, and Florida goes close to Atlanta, like they haven't seen it, and it's going to be a rude awakening for them, I think, tonight. And with everything meshing well better offensively, it's going to be a shootout for us. And the amount of turnovers we're going to get tonight, they put up consistently over 30 turnovers a game.
Yeah.
So a lot of steals tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely. Benji, you got any thoughts on this one?
I'm just looking to see what we do defensively, and also on the offensive side, offensive rebounding. Des always mentions it in every press conference. She wants her team to get boards. She says it every time. She preaches it in practice. So I'm looking to see what we do offensively on the boards. I'm looking to see what we do defensively, forcing turnovers. Obviously, offensively, if we hit shots, we miss shots, it's fine. But what are we going to do to force those turnovers, and how are we going to get out in transition?
All right. Well, kind of moving on to the men's side of things. Of course, women's team 5-3 on the season. Men's, another pretty good win streak for them as well. November 19th, played at St. Mary's against, again, lost that one. And then Christian Harmon, though, 21 points. He's been very consistent over these past 2 weeks, as well as TJ Caldwell, who had 20 against SMU and a big loss there. But then they come home and they play Jacksonville State in a Thanksgiving tournament here in Jonesboro. Christian Harmon with 21 points and 3 rebounds. They played North Dakota State in that one as well. And TJ Caldwell, again, 19 points and 100% from the free throw line. And then we saw yesterday the game against UT Arlington. A big win for the A-State Red Wolves. UT Arlington came into Jonesboro 6-2. A-State was 5-3. And A-State come away with a big win there. I want y'all's thoughts on that game because I know several of us were there. So what did you see? I'll start with you, Carson.
Well, we were sitting together and we saw that half-court dunk, and then it just blew up from there. I mean, it was electric almost. And for a Tuesday game, non-conference, pretty decent crowd. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you want to see more, but student section was hype. TJ Caldwell played good. Harmon played good. And this is all without our leading scorer before he got hurt. So it's good to see these players starting to step up. And in January, we can run away with some things on the offensive side of the ball. And I really, UT Arlington coming into this game had beat SFA. Mm-hmm. And SFA beat us. Me and Caton watched that game. It was rough.
That's an understatement. And
so it was good to see us respond and play a 6-2 team pretty good. I mean, we beat them quite a bit. Obviously, their three-point shooting wasn't there, and if it was, it could have been a better game. But defensive side of the ball looked better. Offensive side of the ball still looks pretty good. And we have the talent, I think, and that's what I think we're starting to see. Like I said, for the women's side, teams starting to mesh together a little bit. They're starting to come together. They're starting to understand what their role is. Ball handling looks a lot better recently. Royal Blue has been a gem in disguise. I mean, he has been playing some basketball. And
freshman.
Yeah, freshman. And he's taking that ball handling role pretty well. I think he's setting up the offense really well and getting our scores where they need to go. TJ Caldwell, we've seen him. He's had the talent, was a top player in country. Went to Ole Miss, obviously didn't work out there, but he's hooping right now. And Harmon started off slow, but he's been hitting those threes. So I think right now we're in a good spot, and it's going to be exciting to see. Hopefully conference play is ours to take.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Royal Blue Smith has been a very pleasant surprise, and much needed off the bench for these Red Wolves. His ball handling ability is very, very good. He's impressed me all season, and that's a freshman, especially.
Good recruiting, good. They have talent on that team.
Yeah. Will, what are your thoughts on the game last night?
Well, on the game last night, it's just a good warm-up game. UT Arlington stinks. That's just all there is to it. They shot, 8% from three? 5% from three. I think I could shoot 5% from three if you stuck me out there.
I mean, I saw that halftime performance.
That was about 5%. That was about right. So that's. I think that was probably some of the worst three-point shooting I've seen. Looking back at the highlights, I couldn't make it to the game, of course, but I did look back at the highlights, and that's like, man, the three-point shooting was just not there at all. It's just a good game for the Red Wolves. We needed the confidence booster. We needed the warm-up win, and it's just something we had to get done. We got it done easily. That's one of those things that early season, those little get-it-done games, we were struggling to get it done. Christian Brothers, we were down for a little while against a D2 Christian Brothers team that was half our average height. And so it's just one of those things of we're finally about to lock in here. I think the 5 spot is pretty secured for Ali Tunkara.
And 4 spot, Ellingsworth.
Ellingsworth had the 4 spot.
Ellingsworth had a very good game last night, by the way.
It's been locked up.
He spreads it out, too.
The depth is crazy. That we have an insane amount of depth, especially at guard. Like I said before the season even started, our guard play was going to be phenomenal, and it's phenomenal. There's really, you could mix around any of those guards and win games consistently. Like you said, Royal Blue Smith has been an absolute stud for us this year. Everybody likes this kid. He's a fresh face to the program. He brings a lot of talent, and again, freshman. So we can keep him for a while, assuming transfer portal doesn't hit, of course, and it probably won't. I think he'll stay, but we've also got veteran leadership as well, like Chandler Jackson or T.J. Caldwell, and it's just. And I imagine what happens when we get Chama back. Yep. Well, SoCal Joe going to come back onto the court, and again, he was getting 20 points off the bench before he got hurt. When he comes back, I fully expect he'll get 20 points off the bench some more, and probably makes a few starts.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the sky's the limit for this team. The earlier schedule, I'm not mad about those losses. St. Mary's, of course, top 25 team every year.
Tournament team.
Their only loss right now is to a Vanderbilt team that I think could maybe make Final Four at this rate, just judging by how they've been playing. St. Mary's, very good team, and we played well. I thought we played well. We lost. The scoreboard's not going to show it. We held them pretty well for a long while in that game. The SMU game, I'm not happy with. I don't think anybody's happy with. SMU's really good, though. I'm not going to lie. SMU's really good. They got a program record number of turnovers against us. And so that's just...
They can also shoot the ball pretty good.
Yeah, they can shoot it well.
It's a good team.
It's just going to be one of those losses. They paid us money. It's fine. At the end of the day, we got our money. And then we got the wins we needed to get. Jacksonville State is a decent team. They were runner-up in Conference USA last year. They got a good coaching staff. Shout out to all my boys in Jacksonville, Alabama. We're just built different. Sorry about that. North Dakota State, decent Summit League team. Again, we needed the win, got the win.
Overtime win.
An overtime win,
exactly. It's just gritting it out and getting it done. And we're finally starting to see that we're getting it done now. And I think Panone's going to be very happy about that. I know I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
So I'll take whatever we can get with that. But very, very happy with the team so far.
Now, I want to talk about some improvements here. Benji and Caton rebounding. We saw last night Jackson Ellingsworth killed it on the rebounds last night, and we had some others that have been rebounding very well in these past few games. Rebounding was a struggle for us early in the season. I remember one of the first episodes of the basketball season, I looked into the camera and I said, rebound the ball. They must have watched the show, and they must have took note because they've been rebounding very well these past few games. I want to know y'all's thoughts kind of on, what exactly you think the paint presence, what's improved about the paint presence for these Red Wolves so far.
You talked about it. 48 points in the paint, 39 bench points. That's 2 key numbers to look at. You also had Jackson Ellingsworth. He killed it. He had 8 boards himself. Player of the game, Jalen Hampton, 19 points. He had 8 boards as well. So those contributions off the bench, whether they're starting. Ellingsworth has been amazing getting to the line. We got to talk about that. A big part of the game because we had 29 free throws, and we hit 21 of them. We were 72%. If you can hit in the 70, 80 range as a team, you're always going to be winning. Meanwhile, the other side, 5% from 3 on the UT side, and then 61% from the free throw line, 37% on terms of field goals. That's the difference in the game. So we shot better than them. We rebounded better, and I think that was the key to last night. We also forced a lot of turnovers.
Well, yeah, I think you kind of summed it up. I think overall,
Came out here with the numbers too, didn't he?
Early on in the season, one of the questions we had was, how are we going to use our height? We have a guy that's 7'3", Ollie, and then Chudy's 6'11", and we didn't really see the height being used in those early games. Quite simply, there was no paint presence offensively and defensively, and it's gotten better. And that's what I like to see. We got to use the height. If you're 7'3", you got to use the height.
Box out.
Exactly.
Box out.
So I think overall this team has improved quite a bit. They've had high expectations, so the pressure on them was quite enormous. And some of the players that were slow off the start was Christian Harmon, and he stepped up big. And that's one of the key 3-point shooters for us now. Heyman's been doing really well. Ellingsworth has stepped up big time since, one of our top scorers, as we said, Chama, has taken a step back because of injury. But and then what Ben said, Jalen Hampton, we didn't highlight him. He played amazing last night.
86% field goal range percentage.
He was 6 for 7, a season high.
Yeah.
That was the player of the game.
But overall, this team has improved. I'm still questioning the defense.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix of like a zone and then like a man
matchup man too.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a triangle, but it's going to be interesting to see against talent, I think.
It'll be interesting to see come conference play, I think, especially if we play a team like Troy.
Troy is dangerous.
Yes.
Troy looks like they can make a run like in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They look rough this year.
Yeah, so conference play will be very interesting for the Red Wolves this year. We've still got a little bit until that happens. But again, A-State men's team 6-3 so far on the season.
I will say the rest of the conference looks really soft, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest of the conference looks incredibly soft. Texas State, Georgia State, Marshall doesn't look
is
great.
down.
JMU
And they
doesn't
were
look great
predicted to
either.
win the conference. Yeah.
JMU's not looking too hot. I think we can at least get runner-up. It's
Yeah.
just Troy that's going to be rough.
Troy
if we
A-State.
can beat Troy, if we can at least split our games with Troy, I like our odds to win this conference.
All right. Well, you heard it here. We'll see how that plays out. We'll be right back here on Red Wolf Roundtable as we get ready to talk about some football, and we'll include some bowl predictions to see what bowl are we going to go to since we made it at a 6-6 record. We'll be right back here on Red Wolf Roundtable. Don't go anywhere.
Students should watch ASU-TV just to see the creativity that a college student can get. The creativity that some of these students have is truly amazing. Getting that experience can really just take you further, and I feel like our program does that for a lot of students.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you how.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtables. We are ready to talk about some football. We've got another guest with us on the show, Mr. Christian Sandoval, joining us from Red Wolf Radio, ready to talk about this last game against App State, and then where are we going to go bowling at? So App State, A-State wins that one because of a missed field goal opportunity by the Mountaineers. It was an interesting game. Lots of things happened. I want to hear your thoughts on this game. We'll start with you, Mr. Sandoval. You're
Well, this was a very interesting game, to say the least. This is arguably, I'm going to say, one of the most frustrating seasons I've seen out of A-State football. Obviously, with how much offensive talent there is on that team, and we couldn't even get a single play to go right.
Looking at you, Keith Eckendorf.
Calling out individuals, but still, like, there's those two fumbles. I mean, obviously one of them was recovered, but that Kenyon Clay fumble did hurt a lot. It hurt a lot, and I think that missed field goal barely saved a certain coach's job. Not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. And I obviously think that we got to do some looking within. I mean, you're right, the OC, like, there's got to be something that we can fix to get something going in this program.
Yeah. Mr. Livingston, I know you have something to say.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. It always matters. You never think it does. You're not thinking about special teams, but you will be once they're bad. And special teams did really, really well.
I believe we had the Sun Belt Special Teams Player of the Week.
Yes, Mr. Sample over there, out there playing like a dog out there. He got the blocked field goal, which saved us from having to come back from an even further lead, which, by the way, their kicker did really well.
Yes.
Despite the miss at the end of the game, DeFreitas did really well. Like, I'm not going to hate on him at all because, what was he, 5 for 7? That's really good for a kicker, especially in that temperature. Come on. And then Sample also recovers the muffed kick, gets down the field in time to get that kick, and gets the Sun Belt player, special teams player of the week. And you know what? It helped us out a lot because a lot of those plays on special teams happened right there when we needed that comeback at the end of the first half. So we got 2 touchdowns strung back to back, basically, because Rayner leads the drive down the field, gets it to Rucker, touchdown. We get the ball back immediately in our own red zone because of that recovered kick, another touchdown. It's tied up at half.
Yeah.
Special teams just made the whole difference in this whole game. Nothing more you can say about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Special teams did phenomenal in this game. Benji, I want to hear your thoughts because I know you've got some paper over there that you probably want to read off of.
Yeah, I have our whole full season stats, and I'm just going to be honest, it's a little rough. When you look at our quarter-by-quarter base, and I've said it before, I need this team to play a full 4 quarters. We play really good in the second quarter, and we play really good in the fourth quarter. We're outscoring our opponents by 9 in the second and the fourth quarter. But when you look at the first and the third, boy, we get outscored. And it's bad. It's a bad margin of error. We put up 24 points a game, but we're allowing 27 a game. And, it's not a shot at our defense, but it's just our whole team, once we get to that fourth quarter, it's just that's when we lock in. That's when our defense wants to step up even more. That's when our offense wants to do all of their scoring, as you see. We had a total of 328 points total this season. Half of that was in the fourth quarter. We have 90 points in the fourth quarter this year, and our opponents have 81. So it's kind of sad to see if this team had played a full 4 quarters like we're supposed to as a football team. I feel like the outcomes of these games wouldn't be, A, so close, and B, we would actually have more large margin of error in terms of wins.
Yeah.
I like what Will said with the special teams, though. That's very key. If we had not had good special teams with our field goals, some of the games we would have lost, especially that South Owl game where we had I think it was 5 or 6 field goals. We don't kick those field goals, we lose.
Clune Van Andel, man.
Yeah,
he's been great for us this year. Probably our most consistent player on the team so far this season has been Clune Van Andel.
And this last game was probably his roughest game.
Yeah.
This was a rough game for him, but special teams still stepped up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many of those points in the fourth quarter came in the 2-minute warning?
Man.
Because it's got to be like all of them.
I wish I had
It's got to be like all of
man,
them. This team has been insane to watch all season.
It has. And, we talk about, if we play a full 4 quarters of football, we might have a win over a ranked opponent in Iowa State.
Absolutely.
We probably would have beat Southern Miss.
Yes.
We probably would have beat Louisiana. Definitely would have beat Louisiana.
Kennesaw, we got off to a slow start, and then we wanted to make the comeback of the year. Ran out of time in that fourth quarter. So
Louisiana Monroe's another one.
Absolutely.
I will fully be expecting among the list of donors to be some local heart hospitals because the amount of last-minute finishes these games have had has got to be pumping their business up like crazy. These are heart attack Red Wolves right here. This is insane stuff. How many games have come down to 1 point margin of these games?
Yeah.
I've never seen a season like this.
We had 3 in a row there.
Yeah.
Good grief.
That's just been
the
major issue with this team. It's like you said, Benji, with the whole 2-minute drills, we got to get this going. That 2-minute drill has to be put through all 4 quarters because we can't always rely on the offense having to bail us out in the last 2 minutes for us to win a game. And that's like you were saying, we could have had more wins. We could have had a ranked opponent win against Iowa State, and then going back to Louisiana, ULM, and then all those other games. But that's just the major issue with that is we have to play consistent football throughout those 4 quarters. It can't just be we've got 2 minutes, so let's get going down the field. It's got to be consistent throughout the game.
And honestly, it was a problem last year. We just did not address it because we went to a bowl game, and we got. I think we have 7 wins or 8.
We had 7 wins
We
on
had
the season.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. So it was 8-5. We ended 8-5. So we didn't address it last year. But to me, watching those games last year, it was a problem. We just didn't address it. But
last year, I felt like our issues got fixed halfway through the season.
Yes, they did. But we did. If you go back and look, we had a lot of 1-possession games last year. Go back and look at those.
That was a lot
those
of
margins were very, very close.
I do want to shout out our defense.
Yes.
This season has greatly improved throughout the year. From the first game of the year until now, it has taken
the first half
steps.
of the season with the defense and the second half of the season, night and day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's completely different because the first half of that season, I think we were statistically bottom 5.
Yes,
we were in the worst 5 teams.
And then Troy happened.
Troy happened. We sacked them like 9 times, and it's just like a light bulb got flicked.
Yeah.
And honestly, that South Alabama game was probably, I think, where it started the most because we played really well against that South Alabama offense. And granted, South Alabama was really bad this year, but at the same time, you need something that'll really just light a fire and get them in there. And so, I think that's definitely going to help.
Yeah. Griff, you've done a good job. Good job, buddy.
Griff has done a very good job.
You're on the Santa's nice list this year.
Yeah.
So, kind of shifting gears, going to talk about some bowl predictions. We've got 3 bowl games here that A-State has been projected to perhaps play in the postseason, one of them being the Myrtle Beach Bowl versus Missouri State. And then we have the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl versus Louisiana Tech, future Sun Belt member. And then the Birmingham Bowl versus our across the river rivals over there, Memphis. So thoughts on those games? Which ones would you like to see A-State play in the most?
Can we just make the game against Memphis the Liberty Bowl?
That's what
That's what I was thinking.
Is that not possible?
And
that should be possible, right?
it should be possible.
Memphis is like 8-4. We can play it. We can do that.
I feel if we play against Memphis, just make it an away game in Memphis. And I feel, and honestly,
Well, it'd just be the Liberty Bowl.
that's what I'm saying. Just go to Memphis.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
I know
no
the Liberty
reason
Bowl
to
also
travel to
hosts-
Alabama for
Absolutely.
this. But if we were picking which one I want to watch, I want to watch the one against Memphis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their offense this year was really good. They were a ranked opponent. I would like to see how we fare against someone of that stature. I think we can play well, but I think for excitement's sake, for how close we are to Memphis, it's technically a rivalry game, even though it's not.
No, it's a rivalry.
It's a rivalry game.
Yeah, okay.
The Paint Bucket Bowl.
So I would like to see the Memphis game if I were to choose.
Yeah. I mean, there were some concerns because, A-State starts their football season next season in Memphis, playing Memphis.
Absolutely.
And so there were some concerns about, playing Memphis back-to-back to end the season and start the season. I don't know if that matters to very many people.
God forbid I have to play my rival more than once.
Right.
I want to play my rival as often as possible.
I mean, didn't East Carolina and North Carolina State do this at one point? I feel like I've seen rivalries played bowl game and then right in the next season, boom, they start right there.
I'm okay with playing my rival every game.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's just how it works. I'd like to beat them twice if we can. If we can beat them in this bowl game and then beat them in the season opener, that's a good day for me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know how huge that would be transfer portal wise as well.
Oh,
if
yeah.
we beat if we were to play Memphis in a bowl
Just
game.
recruiting
wise and transfer portal wise, that'd be wonderful for us. That would boost up the morale.
We already do well with recruiting anyway.
Oh,
and it's
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
that'll just really boost us even more. I agree.
I personally, I think I would like to see the Missouri State game. And I know, and it's because it's kind of a historical thing. This is Missouri State's first bowl game. They just moved up from FCS. We could be their first ever FBS bowl game opponent. And I think, obviously they're pretty good if they've won 6 or more games in the first season of FBS. I don't really know who they've played. I haven't looked at the schedule. But I think A-State would stand probably the best chance against playing Missouri State.
Well, we're definitely better competition than Liberty or New Mexico State. Something like that.
Yeah.
Their usual competition. The only teams that they've lost to, I think, are Kennesaw, and of course we lost to them too. So, I guess we're in the same boat. I think we'd beat Kennesaw if we played them again.
Yeah, I think we would.
I think we do play them again next year.
Oh, let's go.
so.
Let's do that.
Here.
Yeah, here in Jonesboro.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that'll be a pretty good game. But I would like to play Missouri State. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The Louisiana Tech game is interesting too, just because of the factor of they're coming into this conference. I want to see how we match up against them, because I would rather see us, let's see how we can play against them. They're going to be in our conference. Maybe we get a win. It's a confidence booster. They come to the conference. Now we know kind of their personnel, even though it's going to change because of the transfer portal. I do like the Memphis game, too. The Memphis game is great because people forget this. Back in 2023, they came into A-State and beat us 34-3. They whooped our tails.
Yeah.
We only got one field goal. And I might be wrong off of that. They might have shut us out.
No, we got one.
Did we get a field goal?
Yeah,
okay, so I'm correct. It was 30. I know it was 34. It was 34-3. I remember looking at the score. It was 34-3, and the only reason I was happy is because one of my friends played on Memphis.
Yeah.
But I was still heartbroken because the A stayed in me, and we got our tails kicked. So I want revenge.
So he wants revenge.
We want revenge on Memphis.
I
like Missouri State too.
Yeah, I think all three of these are good bowl game choices for Arkansas State. I think all three of them will have very good competition.
Yes.
And I think, all three of them have different aspects, like whether it be historical rivalries or, new rivalries or whatever, I think all of them have really good aspects to them that will make any of these bowl games a pretty good watch. So hopefully we'll go into a bowl game and come out 7-6.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Red Wolf Roundtable today. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I'm Jacob Cater Caton Marsh, and the rest of our guests that have joined us today. Thank you to all of them. Thank you for our director out there, Mr. Dustin Sullivan, doing a wonderful job pressing the buttons for us. I guess any of y'all have anything to say?
Wolves up.
Wolves up.
Wolves up.
Thank you for watching Red Wolf Roundtable. We'll see you next semester.
Oh, yeah.